The most unsettling banned commercials.
If I'm 10 years old watching TV and this advert comes on, I'm never watching TV again. That scared the shit out of me.
What? What the? I don't know what I just watched. I don't even have commentary for that. I just can't believe.
Banned Sour Patch Kids commercial. I don't know if I've even ever seen a banned commercial.
This advert caused so much controversy because it created a craze in playgrounds in the UK.
That's genuinely scary. I can see
Doritos had a banned commercial.
why people said, yeah, that is distressing. I'm kind of distressed.
Ads are meant to attract customers, but these ads did the opposite. They disturbed viewers so much the TV stations had to pull them off the air.
Yo, are you allowed to make adverts that are bad against other companies? Kind of how, like, political figures during the election season just spam smear campaigns against their people, where it'll be like, Jack Ciattarelli killed my grandmother. Jack Ciattarelli once kicked a toddler in the face in 1938. Some shit like that. Are you able to do that? Like, could I make, like, a Sour Patch Kids commercial, but, like, make the Sour Patch Kids, like, fucking, like, drunk drive or something? And then it would be, like, a really bad advert? I feel like, no. You would probably get sued for that.
These are commercials banned for being too disturbing. We won't just show you the footage, we'll uncover the backstories behind each one and save the worst for last. So it is almost the end of the year, guys, and my goal is still the same, to increase the number of videos I put out for you guys without sacrificing quality. So it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do my
Visual Venture, shout out Visual Venture, GOAT.
absolute best and make the best videos I can for you guys. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome. The ad that was too weird to forget. In 1983, a company...
Puppy Monkey Baby? That's my least favorite ad. That's not banned, though. I hate that ad. Puppy Monkey Baby. Puppy Monkey Baby. It's fucking stupid. Fucking stupid ad. That's the best ad? No, it's annoying. And that's why it works, is because it's so catchy that it just sticks in your head. You know the best ad? The fucking Hershey's... I'm just going to play it. The best ad is the Hershey's ad from, like, fucking 1980 that they've ran every year ever since. Bro, that is, like, the easiest promo. They paid a guy one time to make that shit, and now they just run it forever. Make some shit like that. Just spam it every year around the holidays. Why is it in 120p? Probably because that shit was posted on YouTube 17 years ago.
Company wanted to sell candy to kids. To do that, they created a commercial. The main character was someone every child already knew,
Humpty Dumpty.
But the version of Humpty Dumpty that appeared in that commercial wasn't cute. It looked like something straight out of a horror movie. The commercial was for a candy called Kinder Surprise.
Oh my god, the worst candy ever, bro. Whenever I see that shit in a fucking gas station or a grocery store, I'm like, why do they have these in stock? People buy them. They're so good. Yeah, you're single-handedly... Bro, Kinder... Here's Kinder's marketing tactic. They're the Raid Shadow Legends of the candy field. No one... Raid Shadow Legends, this is how they make money, right? They get a lot of new players, but their primary moneymaker is the whales that just spend money on Raid Shadow Legends, right? And then they have a lot of, like, free-to-play players that just kind of, like, you know, boost the player count. Kinder doesn't have anyone that just casually buys Kinder eggs. Kinder has 10 people that eat Kinder every fucking day because they love it. I just don't understand. It's like shitty chocolate.
It was an egg-shaped
Kinder Bueno's goated. No, it's not. I've had it.
Chocolate with a small toy hidden inside. The product wasn't new. Kids already loved it. To keep that success going, Kinder wanted to launch a new ad campaign. They also wanted to
Oh my god, did they kill Humpty? Like, Humpty Dumpty's the Kinder Surprise egg, and in the advert, they, like, murder him, and it opens up, and then they eat him. Oh my god.
mascot children would recognize instantly. Humpty Dumpty was the obvious choice. He was famous, shaped like an egg, and loved by children all over the world. But there was one major issue. Kinder couldn't legally use Humpty Dumpty. Copyright laws blocked them from putting him in the commercial. They needed to create their own version. It could look like Humpty Dumpty, but it needed a different name. So they invented the Eggman. He was supposed to be friendly, but he turned out super creepy. One person described him as a fleshy man egg with childlike features. The Eggman had tiny eyes.
I don't think you can make a humanoid egg creature and not have it look really disturbing. Like, it would have to be cartoonish for it to not be creepy.
And an insanely wide mouth. He spoke in a high, squeaky voice. The biggest problem was how real he looked. The Eggman wasn't animated like a cartoon. He was a hand-built puppet controlled by a professional puppeteer. He blinked, chewed, and moved like a real human, but with the body of an egg. The result was disturbing on so many levels. Despite that, Kinder decided to put him on television. The Kinder surprise commercial aired in 1983. It began with the Eggman sitting on a wall. It was an obvious reference to Humpty Dumpty's nursery rhyme. Almost immediately, the Eggman started shouting nonsense words.
Yibbo shaky. Me unscrabbly. Shaka doobie.
He unwrapped the Kinder Surprise.
What is the vibe they're I wouldn't say it's disturbing, but I could see how like a 5-year-old would probably cry from watching this. I think they were going for like Teletubbies, and they ended up getting like Mr. Meaty. They went for Teletubbies and got like an uncanny Mr. Meaty vibe, like really creepy.
A doobie.
He unwrapped the Kinder Surprise and found the toy inside. All this time, he was still speaking gibberish.
Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pump dice. Oh, grubbly.
His excitement kept building. The Eggman waved his arms wildly. Then he lost his balance and fell backward off the wall. It was a direct nod to Humpty Dumpty's fall. The Kinder logo appeared. The commercial ended. It was meant.
Oh, that's lame. I thought they were gonna like kill him and eat him. I thought that's not. How is that? That's not disturbing. It's like an uncanny creature. I thought the bit would be that he was a Kinder Surprise egg. And he liked, kind of like how the Cinnamon Toast Crunch figures eat each other. It'd be like, oh, he's a Kinder Surprise egg, and then like the kids like murder him, and they open up his body, and there's like a big toy inside.
To be silly and fun, but instead it came across as bizarre and unsettling. Not long after it aired, complaints started pouring in. Parents said their kids were terrified of the Eggman's creepy face.
It's an ad for kids. What are you on about? Have you ever seen a Crave commercial?
And it wasn't just a few kids, it was thousands. Eventually, TV stations had to act. After
Skittles Pox is by far more disturbing than kids cracking. Okay, maybe them murdering the Humpty Dumpty man. There wouldn't be blood. He would be, chat, it wouldn't be like gory. Yo, Kinder, give me the reins on the marketing right now. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to bring back the fucking weird Eggman that's not a Humpty Dumpty. And when they hit him, he's not going to like shrill in pain. He's going to he's human. Really? Really, the Eggman's human? Okay.
Many complaints, networks stopped airing the ad.
That was not a human.
It's unofficially banned. Eventually, Kinder decided to...
He has human features. Name him. Name him. Ears? Like every other animal.
Pull the commercial completely. But
he had skin. Okay.
And it already had a reputation as one of the creepiest candy ads ever made. But that wasn't the end of the story. Decades later, the footage resurfaced on YouTube. People couldn't believe it was real. Overnight, the Eggman became a meme. YouTubers created parody versions. Fans even tried to translate his gibberish.
Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pump die.
The translation was obviously fake.
That's like Death to the Right Brothers.
With multi-pump die.
The translation was obviously fake, but it captured what everyone thought. The ad was absolutely weird. Kinder tried to bury this ad. Didn't work. Decades later, it's still everywhere. The ad that disrespected families. Sometimes the best way to advertise a product is to show someone using it, but a Belgian company called Zazu couldn't do that because their product was a condom. Obviously, they couldn't demonstrate that on TV. They needed another way to deliver their message.
I feel like I have seen multiple informative infomercials of somebody putting a condom on a banana. Maybe that was like health class and I'm like skewing things. I feel like that's not true.
Obviously, they couldn't demonstrate that on TV. They needed another way to deliver their message, so they came up with a commercial that was meant to be funny. But the reaction wasn't what they expected. Instead of laughing, many viewers were offended. The commercial ended up being banned in multiple countries. Here's what happened. The ad was released in 2004. It stood out right away. Most condom ads at the time focused on romance or disease prevention, but Zazu went in a completely
Yeah, I think you want to go the romance route if you're doing like a filmed ad.
different.
Actually, no. You should do what like vape commercials do. If you're doing like a condom ad, you got to do what like vape commercials do, where they just show like people dying. Like that's like, dude, if you ever buy like anything nicotine related in another country outside of the US, there's just somebody dying of cancer on the box with like a ventilator, just like breathing. Like I bought cigars or something in like Mexico. It's just somebody like no fumar equals cancer. And dude, they got to do that. But with like just like sexual diseases.
The ad opened inside a supermarket. A father was shopping with his young son. The boy slipped the bag of candy into the cart. The father removed it and put it back on the shelf. The boy frowned and tried again. Again, the father took it out. Realizing he wasn't getting the candy.
Oh, is this going to be an ad that like kids suck, use a condom so you don't get your girlfriend pregnant? Is this the direction this is going? It's just going to be like annoying kids and it's going to be like Trojan.
Realizing he wasn't getting the candy, the boy snapped. He starts having a full-blown temper tantrum. Other shoppers stared. The father looked embarrassed and defeated. Then 2 words appeared on the screen. Use condoms. It was short, shocking, and unforgettable. When the ad first aired in...
I don't think that's fucked up. Am I crazy? I feel like that's like targeted advertising. If you're watching that and you're like, damn, this kid's annoying, that's like the perfect ad for you. It's like, oh yeah, you don't want to have a kid. Like, use a condom.
Belgium and France, people loved it. It was dark humor, but it was relatable. Once it reached English-speaking countries, the reaction changed. Critics said the message was inappropriate. They believed it mocked parenthood and portrayed children as a burden. Some labeled it disrespectful to families. Several broadcasters...
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? What are they calling in complaining? I mean, bro, the ad's not for you. Nobody's sitting. The ad company isn't going, hey, like, yo, the ad company isn't going, oh, if you have kids, your family sucks. Your children shouldn't exist. No, it's like, hey, this is for people that like may not use a condom, but it's like, hey, you probably aren't ready to like take care of a child. Maybe you shouldn't have a kid.
Before long, it was banned in several countries, but the controversy only made it more famous. People shared the ad on forums, blogs, and eventually YouTube. Many thought it was hilarious. It even won an award for its originality. Despite the backlash, Zazu's little boy commercial became a classic. This next ad shows how a joke becomes dangerous when people take it literally.
I don't know. I just want to like see the people complaining. Like, for you to call, who do you even complain to? Like the company itself? Like if I ever saw a commercial that annoyed me on fucking TV, like where do you go? Like what am I calling your fucking cable provider and being like, I just saw an ad that upset me?
The ad that hit too hard. In 1992, a TV commercial went...
Twitter? That was 2004, chat. Did Twitter exist? They had to call someone.
Viral in Britain. People couldn't stop talking about it. Many even called it one of the funniest ads ever made. But then kids started reenacting the ad in real life, and within weeks, someone landed in the emergency room. Suddenly, people realized the ad wasn't just funny, it was dangerous. The story began with a drink called Tango Orange. It was basically orange soda, but the soda market was very competitive. Tango's biggest rival was Fanta, and Fanta was everywhere, on TV, in stores, and in almost every fridge. Tango needed something bold to grab attention, so they hired a top ad agency. At the time, most ads followed the same formula.
Yo, I'm gonna have another take here. Similar to the Kinder Surprise Egg. Who the fuck drinks Fanta? Who the hell drinks orange Fanta? On like a day-to-day basis, you pull up, you see the The cold neon lights at a gas station. Everybody's saying me, chat. Get the fuck out of here. You might drink it if it's an option. You pull up to a gas station. It's like midnight. Neon lights shining down on all these sodas and other drinks. And through the fucking 200 options that you could have, the one you go, that's going to hit the spot, is an orange Fanta. I get you going for the pineapple or another flavor. Orange Fanta's disgusting. Just get fucking orange juice.
And used the product, and suddenly everything in their life got better. Tango's team flipped that idea. They asked, what if drinking Tango didn't make you better? What if it shocked you literally? That became the concept. Tango's flavor was so intense that it hit you with an unforgettable punch. To bring that idea to life, the team created a strange new character. They named him the Orange Man. His job was simple: appear out of nowhere and slap the person drinking Tango. Before settling on the slap, they tested other ideas. Originally, the Orange Man was going to punch the drinker. That was rejected as too violent. Next, they tried having him kick the person from behind. That was rejected too. Finally, they decided on a slap. It was risky, it was different, and soon it would cause serious trouble. They filmed the commercial and put it on TV. It began with 3 young men standing outside a corner shop. One of them cracked open.
What? And then fucking in real life, people just started assaulting people on the side of the road that were drinking Tango?
Opened a can of Tango and took a sip.
Hello, Johnny. I think we might use a video replay here.
The video rewound like someone reviewing footage on tape. This time, viewers saw what really happened.
Oh, yes, we could be in for a quintessential Tango taste sensation here.
As soon as he took a sip, the Orange Man ran up and slapped him on both cheeks. The drinker was shocked. The voiceover called it super taste sensation. Then came the tagline.
You know when you've been tangoed.
The ad was an instant hit. You know when you've been tangoed became a national catchphrase. Adults quoted it at work. Kids repeated it on playgrounds. Tango's sales skyrocketed. At one point, Tango outsold Fanta by almost 2-1. They obliterated their biggest rival. For the company,
It's a good-ass commercial, then.
it was a massive win, but the win didn't last. Not long after the ad went viral, teachers noticed something alarming. Kids were sneaking up behind classmates and slapping them on both cheeks. Then they would yell, "You've been tangoed." At first, schools thought it was harmless fun, but the Tango slap kept getting harder. One morning, Tango's advertising team got a call from a hospital. A surgeon
Yeah, this reminded me of corn dogging, bro. Anybody around during the corn dog epidemic? I was in this was probably like 3rd or 4th grade, bro. Anybody know what corn dogging is? Dude, that fucking sucked. You'd be walking around in the hallways covering your butt in fucking fear, man. That shit was terrible. You'd walk up behind somebody, grab him by the shoulders, and just knee him in the ass as hard as you could. And it hurt so bad. And it was worse than dead legging, because if you get punched in the leg, it's like you sit down. After a while, it's fine. But if somebody knees you in the fucking right butt cheek, now the rest of the day, you have a fucking bruise.
was on the line. He said, "I thought you'd like to know that I did an operation on a child this morning
Nut taps too? Nope, don't remember that.
with a damaged eardrum." When I asked him what happened, he said, "I got tangoed." The company's joke finally caused a
Yo, sad story. We had a sleepover at my elementary school for this charity event where people donated, and then my class got to stay over. And this was in 3rd grade. And I was one of the first people to fall asleep, and I woke up and one of my friend's nuts were just in my face, bro. It was terrible. That was that, and he was teabagging me, bro. And I remember I woke up and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yo, that shit pissed me off so much. Actually, no, seriously. Everybody was like, no, you can't fall asleep, but we were supposed to stay up the whole night. It was 4 a.m., bro. And I'd woken up at 7, and I was 10, man. What do you expect me to stay for 24 hours? I was exhausted.
real injury. Tango executives were horrified. If word spread that their commercial was putting people in the hospital, it would destroy the brand. But it was too late. The story hit the news, and parents were furious. They accused Tango of glorifying violence. Schools across the UK started banning Tango from their premises. The company quickly pulled the commercial.
Did he have pants on? Yeah. No, he didn't actually. Yo, he didn't actually take his. No. He didn't. No, he was just teabagging me in the face. He didn't actually. No, he didn't actually take his. No.
television. But removing it wasn't enough. They still had to clean up.
Oh, you guys thought... Dude, that would be way more grim of a story, bro. That would be like sexual assault. That would be... That would have been fucking terrible, bro. What do you mean? I wouldn't have casually said that. You got to be more specific. Whoa, sorry. I in my head, I just assumed that you would know what I was talking about. Sorry.
Tango's team scrambled to recover. They still needed to advertise their drink, but they couldn't risk another scandal. So they made 2 new versions of the ad. In one, the orange man placed his hand on the Tango drinker's mouth and kissed it. In the other, the drinker saw the orange man coming and ran away. The team believed these safer versions would work just as well, but the public felt differently. The new ads didn't have the same impact. The original commercial, however, became legendary. People still remember it today. In the year 2000, the orange man ad ranked number 3 in Britain's list of the 100 greatest TV ads of all time. This next ad was supposed to inspire people, but it disgusted them. The ad, too insensitive for TV. In 2002, Microsoft was preparing to launch the Xbox across Europe, but there was one major roadblock. At the time, PlayStation dominated the gaming world. To compete, Xbox needed a commercial that would shake things up, something that would make gamers take notice. Their team came up with an inspirational tagline: "Life is short, play more." It felt
Life is short. Life is short. Be glued to your Xbox more. Xbox or PlayStation? I only have a PlayStation now because I have a PC. But I was an Xbox kid. I had a PS2, but that was given to me. The first console that I bought was an Xbox One. That was the first console that I owned. It wasn't like a hand-me-down. I had an Xbox One, never done an Xbox 360, and an Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Then I got a PC. When I started doing like social media, obviously, or around. I think I already had the PC, and then I got a PlayStation and sold my Xbox for $200 and free chicken. It's because there's no point. If you have a PC, there's no point in having an Xbox.
They even set aside about $50 million for the European launch. But when they turned that tagline into a commercial, it went terribly wrong. The ad was so controversial that even people who weren't gamers wanted it banned. The commercial opened in a hospital delivery room. A woman was in labor surrounded by doctors. She gave one final push, and the baby shot out of her belly like a missile. It smashed through.
What was the chicken? It was like a chicken barbecue. I remember I got like a biscuit. What else? It was like 2 long hots, and then it was this big chicken thigh and something else. Oh, corn. Sorry, I'm rewinding.
People who weren't gamers wanted it banned. The commercial opened in a hospital delivery room. A woman was in labor surrounded by doctors. She gave one final push, and the baby shot out of her belly like a missile. It smashed through the window and flew across the sky. Then something unusual happened. The baby started aging as it soared through the air. He became a child, then a teenager, then an adult. There were close-up shots of his thinning hair and aging teeth. Through it all, he kept screaming. Finally, he crash-landed into a grave. Then the tagline appeared: "Life is short, play more." It was clearly dark humor, a visual metaphor showing how quickly life passes. But when the ad aired, viewers weren't inspired, they were disgusted. The problem was simple. People didn't like the idea of using death to sell video games. Authorities
I don't give a fuck. Use death to sell video games. What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? Why are people getting upset about this? Like, that's not that bad. I think it was a bad ad because you're probably not really going to remember it's Xbox. I mean, it's just kind of like weird. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and be like, yo, this is fucked up. They're using death to sell video games.
in the UK received more than 100 complaints. One was from a grieving mother who recently lost her baby. After weeks,
they're using death to sell video games. Meanwhile, they'll do an ad for fucking some seizure medicine, and then 80% of the ad will be fucking side effects, and in one of the side effects is both seizures and death. Like, I would rather ban those fuck-ass medicine ads that are like scams than a fucking Xbox ad that's like, hey, you're gonna die one day. I'm upset. It reminded me that I'm gonna die. Oh, fucking hell, dude. Get over it.
To backlash, the authorities ruled that the ad could not be broadcast
What?
on British television unless the ending was changed. Microsoft refused. They insisted that the message was positive. Life is short, so make the most of it. Rather than change the commercial, they pulled it from television.
I think people are annoyed that it's Xbox. It's life is short, play more. If this was like a government ran ad that life is short, go fucking live your life, and it was just like a, hey, go do stuff, nobody would complain.
It never aired again. Still, Xbox didn't step away from edgy marketing. In the years that followed, their marketing team kept making controversial ads. This next ad was so bad, people have been talking about it for 40 years. The ad that terrified a generation. In 1978, a new horror movie was about to hit theaters. It was titled Magic.
1978. Not gonna know this one.
Like every film, it needed a trailer to build hype. And since it was a horror movie, the team wanted it to be scary. Very scary. But they went further than anyone expected. Magic was a psychological horror film. It was about a struggling magician named Corky. His career was collapsing and he was desperate for something new. So he added a ventriloquist dummy named Fats into his routine. It worked. After adding the dummy...
Yo, actually, bro, how do people get into ventriloquism? Like, how does... Every other hobby, I get people being, like, introduced to it and then going, oh, I want to do that. But is it like, oh, you watch like Jeff Dunham when you're like 5, and then you're like, I want to control a puppet and make it say jokes? Serial killer ass hobby. Okay, I'm not gonna. Yo, I'm not gonna assume somebody that does ventriloquism is a serial killer. But I would be like, how did you get into this?
Corky became a success, but soon he sensed something was wrong. The dummy wasn't just a prop; he seemed alive.
I also just don't think ventriloquism is, like, funny. When I was a kid, I used to think that Jeff Dunham was hilarious. Now, I don't think I would find that shit funny at all.
And worse, he was evil. In short, as the story unfolded, Corky slowly lost his grip on reality. For the movie trailer, the marketing team came up with a minimalist idea. No special effects or action scenes, just the evil dummy staring straight into the camera. That would turn out to be a very bad idea. The trailer lasted only 30 seconds. It began with the dummy emerging from the darkness. It had lifelike eyes and a devilish grin. The camera zoomed in while he recited a poem.
Abracadabra, I sit on his knee. Presto, changeo, and now he is me.
The poem went on for a while, but then he said the
It's like Goosebumps. Like Slappy.
last line.
Magic is free. We're dead.
The dummy's eyes snapped shut. Then, just before the commercial ended, they popped open again. Then the screen cut to black. The trailer was meant to get people excited for the movie.
Is that like a children's commercial? Like, I would get that being disturbing if that's being shown on, like, Disney Channel. But if that's for adults and adults are saying that's too Oh, wait. Chat. No. Because this was released around the same time as, like, Michael Myers. And if you remember, or not remember, you weren't alive. If you ask your parents, they would remember Michael Myers being the scariest thing they've ever seen. Like, old people think that, like, Jason and Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger are, like, the scariest villains that exist. But they're not, like, now people watch slashers for, like, fun because they're, like, shitty horror films. Michael Myers is still scary as fuck. No, it is not. Like, now, I don't think anybody would be disturbed by this ad. But in the 1970s, I kind of get it. Like, fear has, dude, chat, horror as a genre has changed so much and gotten so much scarier. Like, I fully believe that if you were able to go time travel back to the 70s, cut off a Michael Myers film, like, midway through, and just start playing Terrifier 3 or, like, Sinister, I think people would, like, actually die in theaters out of fear. Like, I truly believe that that would be, like, another level of scary that they could not imagine at that time.
Trailer. TV stations received complaint after complaint. Parents said the dummy was giving their...
Sinister's not that scary. I will agree. Sinister is usually ranked as the... Like, I think, actually, like, scientifically, Sinister is supposed to be the scariest horror film. Like, they did a test, and you have the highest average heart rate watching it. I would say Conjuring's a lot more scary. There's a lot scarier films, but dude, Sinister in the fucking 70s would kill people.
Kids' nightmares. Others claimed their kids ran out of the room whenever it came on. One viewer said the poem got stuck in their head. It didn't help that the trailer had no storyline. It was just a puppet staring straight at the viewer as if it were mad at the viewer. For children, that was too much. By late 1978, the backlash was impossible to ignore. Television networks banned the Magic trailer. They said they were protecting younger viewers from more sleepless nights. After the ban, the studio released a new trailer for the movie. This time it opened with a message. This special preview has been approved for all audiences. The first trailer didn't have that, so it was clearly meant to reassure everyone that this version was safe. Then it began.
When your heart begins to pound.
They made it worse? Nah, I love that. I hope they doubled down and made it scarier.
When your mind begins to go, keep telling yourself, it's only a movie.
This time, the dummy appeared for just a few seconds. The rest of the trailer showed scenes from the actual film.
You do magic too? Corky does magic. I only do tricks.
It was spooky, but not horrifying for the people at the time. When Magic premiered, reviews said the movie wasn't nearly as scary as the trailer. One critic wrote, "There's nothing..."
Shocker. The movie centralized around a ventriloquist dummy wasn't scary.
Nothing in the film nearly as terrifying as Fat's grin and that creepy little rhyme. More than 40 years have passed since that original trailer, and people still talk about it. Today you can find it on YouTube, and comments are filled with adults who still remember being terrified as children. Some even call it the scariest movie trailer of all time.
The scariest movie trailer of all time. I mean, be fucking for real, right? Who said that? Who said that? Some random article that, like, on a website that they made themselves. Watch it. We watched that. He explained the commercial. It's just some dude that sounds like Slappy going, "We're dead," and then his eyes roll back into his head. Whoa!
Next ad got into trouble for being a little too realistic. The ad, "The Corrupted Young Mind." In 2007, a game called Kane and Lynch was about to launch. It came from the same studio that created the game Hitman, but this one was
fucking amazing game.
Far more violent. The two main characters were criminals. Kane was a ruthless mercenary, and Lynch was an unstable psychopath. The game followed them through a series of brutal crimes and shootouts. When it came time to promote the game, the studio had one goal. They wanted the commercial to look cinematic, like a gritty Hollywood action movie, something raw, realistic, and intense. In retrospect, maybe that wasn't the best decision, because the ad they created was so disturbing it was banned almost immediately. The commercial began calmly.
From the creators of Hitman comes Kane and Lynch.
Then all hell broke loose. There was gunfire, screams, and sirens. Kane and Lynch didn't hold back. They took down anyone who stood in their way. It was 30 seconds of non-stop violence. The creative team thought they nailed it, but once the ad aired in the
What year was this?
UK, the public reaction was a disaster. The commercial ran on just a few British networks. Within hours, viewers were calling the TV stations to complain. Almost everyone said that the violence looked too graphic. They pointed out scenes where characters were getting hurt. One close-up even showed a person's bruised face. Even the sound effect—
Oh, no. Somebody's bruised face. No, too graphic? They would freak out at GTA 5.
Effects were an issue. There was a sickening crunch sound when one character was hit with a rifle. For many viewers, it was—
Or like Mortal Kombat, like, which existed in this time.
Simply too disturbing. By the end of the week, UK—
Too disturbing, bro. There were games in this time where you would rip out somebody's spine and shove it up their ass. Like, actually. Like, that's not, like, that actually, like, there were games you would rip out their spine and go, "Get over here," and fucking shove it up their ass. They would die.
Authorities received 26 complaints. That might not sound like much, but it was enough to ignite a national debate about how video games were corrupting young people. Even the TV stations that first aired—
Was this like the spark of like video games create school shooters, like that whole fucking thing? Oh my God. I remember that, bro. People being like, "Yeah, dude, Call of Duty's creating psychopaths."
The commercial apologized. The game studio tried to defend itself. They claimed the ad was misunderstood. Kane and Lynch was about two criminals trying to survive in a harsh world. The commercial was just showing that world. They argued that given the subject matter of the game...
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school playing Fortnite, I remember hearing, bro, that Fortnite was a recreation of 9/11. And I went, what? Huh?
And the TV ad...
What do you mean?
Ad was not overly violent. They also insisted the ad was made for adults,
2018,
not kids.
I was like, what are you fucking talking about? It's not. Yo, that's like some Facebook mom shit. Who the fuck said that? Oh, no, it's like some local parent.
But regulators didn't buy it. They ruled that the commercial was too
I'm not saying that was like a thing on social media. I was just like, dude, what are you fucking talking about, bro?
graphic and too shocking to be seen in any medium. In plain English, it was too disturbing for TV. They also said it was likely to be seen as condoning and glorifying real violence. The verdict was final. The Kane and Lynch ad was banned from British television. It was one of the first video game ads ever pulled for being too violent. Up next is a commercial that people actually liked, but somehow it still got banned. The ad that was too crude.
I want to know one of these commercials.
A company called Smart Beep thought they were finally getting their big break. They created a commercial that was set to air during the 1999 Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was arguably the biggest advertising event in the world. Millions of people watched every year. For brands, even 30 seconds on screen could lead to massive profit, but the price was steep. Back then,
how much is the Super Bowl ad this year? $8 million for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And that's not even the cost of making the commercial. Like, just the ad space is $8 million. That's nuts. Dude, the one commercial recently that I always think about was, I think it was Coinbase. And it was like 2 minutes. It was so, they bought back-to-back ad space. And you remember it was the QR code that was just bouncing around like this. And it was just a QR code on screen. And, 10 seconds go by, you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? And then after like a minute, you're like, I need to scan this. I need to scan this. What is this?
And a 30-second Super Bowl slot cost $1.6 million. Smart Beep was ready to pay it. They filmed their ad and prepared for their big debut. But before it even aired, the commercial was banned. And it was all because of one bad joke. To understand why this ad even existed, you have to go back to the late 1990s. Back then, smartphones weren't common. Most people used pagers to stay connected. Here's how pagers worked. If you wanted to reach someone, you called their pager number. Your number appeared on a tiny screen on their pager. The person saw it, found a phone, and called you back. It was pretty simple. Smart Beep offered affordable pager plans. That was their business. To attract more customers, they decided to run a Super Bowl commercial. It was expensive, but if the ad landed, it could catapult their business. For the ad, they wanted a concept that was simple but funny, and they got an idea. The commercial began with a man picking up a woman for a blind date. He walked her to his car and opened the passenger door. He went around to the driver's side. Right before he got in, the woman let out a loud fart. When he got in, he smiled awkwardly and said,
"You guys meet? Greg, Janice?"
We sure did.
Then came the punchline.
Yo, that's hilarious. No, that's actually funny, though.
That was stupid.
Great.
This is smart. A beeper service for just $1.99 a month.
The joke was simple. Farting on a blind date was stupid. Signing up for a cheap pager plan was smart. It was short, fast, and funny. Exactly what most Super Bowl ads tried to be. Smart Beep submitted.
I feel like risking the fart. I'd be like, you get in the car first, Why would you rip ass? Yeah, they wouldn't hear it, but then they're going to smell it. You know what I mean? You fucking rip ass in a closed car, nobody's there. They're going to be like, it fucking reeks.
The commercial to Fox for approval. Fox was the network airing the Super Bowl that year. That meant they got to decide which commercials aired. But when Fox saw the blind date commercial, they were anything but impressed. Fox executives felt the fart joke was too crude, so they made a surprising decision. The commercial was banned from the Super Bowl. For Smart Beep, it was a huge blow. Their big break disappeared overnight. But the story didn't end there. The ad eventually leaked online, and when people finally saw it, they were shocked it was rejected. Viewers pointed out the same thing. In the 1990s, Fox aired...
It's a fucking fart joke. That's too crude. That's too crude. All right, now back to watching men run into each other and giving each other brain damage. Now back to watching men tackle each other
Shows like In Living Color, The Simpsons.
Don't make a fart joke, though.
And Married with Children. These shows were notorious for their crude humor. So why was a simple fart joke suddenly off limits? The commercial went viral online. Years later, some Reddit users even called it the greatest TV commercial ever. Unfortunately, going viral didn't save SmartBeat. In the 2000s,
Yeah, probably because pagers stopped fucking existing.
people switched from pagers to cell phones. With fewer customers, the company eventually...
I wish I lived in that era, bro. Yo. I mean, I was alive then, but obviously I was like a kid. You remember when they had those, was it a pager? They had those earbuds, and it was like a long stick that came out to here, and it was like businessmen would like talk on the phone with those things, and it was like, wait, hold up. Yeah, hello, got you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be there. And they would just talk on that. It was like it was an earpiece, but it was like it was like only in one ear. And it was like a phone. It was like the first Bluetooth thing.
Their band Commercial, however, lived on. And today, it's remembered as one of the funniest Super Bowl ads that never aired. This next case made history for all...
They still have those? Who the fuck uses them?
All the wrong reasons. The ad that put viewers in the hospital. So far, we've covered ads that were disturbing, but this one didn't just upset people. It did something few ads have ever done. It triggered seizures. The commercial was from a car...
Oh my god, is it like an epilepsy...
company called Citroën. They were one of the big...
Hold up, I might throw up a warning here.
...biggest car manufacturers in France. In 2011, they were promoting a new model, the DS4. It was sleek, modern, and futuristic. A car designed to stand out. The marketing team leaned into that idea. The ad's theme was rebellion. Everyone else said yes to the ordinary. But if you drove the DS4, you weren't like everyone else. You stood out. It was a smart concept. The next step was to create a TV commercial. But what they created was a health hazard. The ad opened with a smooth voiceover.
It's easy to say yes. Can you work on Sunday? Yes, boss. Can you go shopping with me? Yes, darling.
After a moment, the voice asked,
how many yeses did you say?
That's when things got intense. The word yes started flashing on screen non-stop, which we won't show. In total, it appeared 304 times in just a few seconds. After the burst of visuals, the voice returned.
But what if, just for once, you say no?
The camera cut to the DS4 gliding along a road.
Why conform?
The message was simple. Most people say yes to normal, but DS4 drivers don't. The flashing yes sequence was only a tiny part of the ad, but it was about to ruin everything. Trouble began the moment the ad aired in the UK. Within hours, stations received complaints. Viewers said the flashing made them dizzy and disoriented. Then the most serious reports came in. Several viewers said the ad triggered epileptic seizures. The condition is called photosensitive epilepsy. It's a
Shouldn't there be like a I know, like, I don't want to say it is obviously the ad maker's fault, but shouldn't the network have like a scan to be like, hey, this is like gonna give people seizures? No warning? Well, you can't even really have a warning. The reason you can't do a warning on an ad, it's either it's in or it's out. Because if you have a warning, say you fucking go to take a piss and the warning's playing, and then you have epilepsy, and you come sit back down, the ad's playing, and then you just get a fucking seizure. Like, you miss the warning. It's different if it's like a movie, but if it's something that you're not consistently glued to.
That meant a car commercial was now a real health hazard. Citroën quickly issued a statement. They admitted the situation was serious, but insisted it wasn't their fault. They explained that the commercial passed every required safety test. One of those tests was designed to detect flashing patterns that could trigger seizures. It was called the Harding Flash and Pattern Analyzer test. The ad passed that test too, so technically everything was safe. If that was true, what went wrong? Authorities launched a full investigation. They retested the DS4 commercial using advanced tools. This time, the ad failed.
I think this is supposed to be the DS4 ad.
Every test. That revealed a much bigger issue. The old safety checks weren't accurate enough. Regulators took action. They updated the standard safety tests, making them stricter and more precise. But for Citroën, it was too late. The ad was officially banned in the UK. The ruling was clear. The ad must not appear again in its current form. At least something positive came out of the chaos. Citroën's mistake helped make advertising safer for everyone. Shock value sells for a second, but trust, that takes years to build and seconds to destroy. So before you do something just to stand out, ask yourself, how will people remember you? Visual Venture.
Fucking W Visual Venture, bro. That was a good video. I wouldn't say any of those were really, like, unsettling, But it was cool hearing about, like, different types of band commercials. Yo, count me down 30 seconds. I'm gonna go piss, then we're gonna hop into the next video.